In this video, we are gonna see how to create the screen time analyzer for desktop using Python. You consider this is the demo of what we're gonna do now. We're gonna build a screen time analyzer that you have normally use in your mobile application. We're gonna build the same for the Windows as well. Not only you can use Windows, you can use any operating system because we are build using the Python, right? You can run the script on any operating system. And let me open up this script here. You consider this is the Python script that we're gonna run. Let me right click and I'm gonna run this Python script. When we run this Python script, we consider tracking starter. Now we can use all the applications that we want and it will track what are the applications that you are using in how hours, minutes, and it will display the graph when we stop it. So let me search for something in the browser. Now you consider I am opening this tab. Let me open up the file explorer. Let's go to the documents and let's also open up the Microsoft Store now. For now, this is enough for us. Let me go to the Visual Studio Code and I'm gonna stop here. Consider we have switched. Now we got the bar graph here. Consider on the new tab we have used around 0.1 minute. On the Visual Studio Code we are used 26.4%, and you consider this is the tab that have used 10%. Microsoft Store also documents. So this is the project that we're gonna do in this video. Let's get started. Let me clear all the code now. We're gonna do it from scratch. So before we proceed higher, let's install the libraries that we need for this project. For this project, what we need is the Matplotlib only because we are doing the plot, right? So pip install Matplotlib. You consider requirement already satisfied. Let's import the libraries that we have installed now. So first we need the time because we want to calculate how many seconds we are using an applications. Then we need something called the Win32 GUI. So using this we can track what are the applications that we are currently using, that is the active application. Let's also import the matplotlib. So import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. Then we need the collections. So from collections we're going to import the default dictionary. So in this dictionary we're going to store the application and its time. So you consider this is the default dictionary. So this provides a dictionary where we can provide the key and value, where we can pass the key and value. For the key we're going to store the application, and for the value we're going to store how long we are using that application. So and let's define the dictionary now. Usage allow equal to default and I'm going to pass a default value as float. So if you don't pass anything, it will store the default value as float 0.0. That's it. So here let me write the comments now so that you can understand it better. We're going to store two things, key and value, and for the key we're going to store the current application that we are using. Here for the current application we are using the Visual Studio Code. If we change this to browser, the current application will be our browser. Whatever we are using, that will be our current application, and for the value we are going to store how much time we are using that application. Let's also define the current application as current tab equal to none. So let's initialize our current tab as none, and start time equal to, so let's define the start time equal to time.time. This will give us the current time. So now we have the current time, right? Then what we can do is we can create an infinite loop. So while true, we're gonna continuously check for the applications that we are using. Let's also print a message so that you can know what is happening behind the scenes. So tracking starter, press Ctrl plus C to stop. Press Ctrl plus C to stop. So when we press the Ctrl plus C, the tracking should stop. This is what we are doing here. And we can also include this while loop using the try and except block. So let me indent this. Let's also create the except block now. So from this except block, for now we're gonna simply pause. So after you have tried the try block, we're gonna go to the except block now. Let's get the active application now. So that is the active window that we want. So active window equal to, let's define a function that will return us the active window now. So get active window. So this is our function that will return us the whatever application that we are using, it will return as its title. So def active window title, and inside is, that's why we have imported a library called the Win32GUI. Currently it is only usable for Windows. So window equal to Win32.GUI dot get foreground window. This will give us the current application that we are using, and since we want the title, right, the application title, if we are using the browser Microsoft Edge browser, we are need the title Microsoft Edge. This is our title, right? We need to get the title. If you are using a Visual Studio Code, we need the Visual Studio Code title. So return Win32GUI dot get window text, and inside this pass the window. So this will give us the current application that we are using, and let's call this function here active window equal to, this will be, we are calling this function, this will give us the active window title. Now we got the active window title, right? Then what we can do is we can check if the active window is not equal to current tab. We can check if the active window is not equal to current tab. Then what we can do is we can check if the active window is not equal to current tab. because we want to check if we are shifting from one application to another application, right? In this case, we have to check if active window is not equal to the current app, then what we can do is we can pass this current app to the dictionary and set the time. If current app, that is we are checking if there is any current app, previous current app, then what we gonna do is, so if there is any current app, so we gonna set the usage logs. First we have to calculate the time, then we can put this to the usage logs. So usage time equal to time dot now. We are calculating the time now from this start time. Consider here we have a stop time, right? So we're gonna stop tracking to get the usage times. How many seconds we have used that application. So usage log equal to, so we're gonna push the active window now. So we're gonna push the active window plus equal to, this will be our usage time. As I told earlier, the key will be the application that we are using, the value will be the how much time that we are using, and we can print a message like switch from current app to the active window, switch from current app to active window. This case is when we are switching from one application to another application. And for the initial case, if there is no current app, we only have an active window, then what we can do is, so current app equal to, this will be our active window. So this is the initial case when we start the Python script. So let's also calculate the start time for this application. So time equal to time dot time, stay for 1 second, because we are interested in tracking the application every 1 second. Now let's work on the except block now. If the user press the control plus 3, we have to stop, right? So except keyboard interrupt. So first we check if there is any current tab, because while we are using, if we press the control plus 3, we don't want to waste that application that we are using. So we don't want to miss that application. So if there is any current tab, then usage time equal to, we have to calculate the time dot now. That is the current time minus the start time. We'll have to calculate the usage time, and we're gonna push this current tab to the usage logs. So usage log, so the key will be the current tab and the value will be our usage time. So plus equal to usage time. So that's it. This is the try and except block, and we can also print a message like the tracker has stop at this current tab, that the tracker has been stopped. And finally what we can do is we can create the graph for this application. So tracking stop, then we can create a bar chart that we seen in the initial part, right? The bar chart that we have seen in the initial part of the video, where when we stop the tracker, it will give us a nice bar graph of how many hours we have used a single application. We'll have to do that, right? So let's create that bar graph now. So for that we need a labels as well, and how much time we have used for that labels. That is the Windows title as well as the how much time we have used that. So labels equal to, this will be our Windows title, that is the current application. So we're gonna convert our usage log dot keys. The keys will give us all the active application titles, and the sizes, that is the usage time. So this will be usage log dot values. This will give us the values, how many minutes we have used that application. So we have the labels as well as the sizes. Then what we can do is we can create the pie chart now. And since we want to convert this into a minute, right? So if you are display the seconds into minutes, that will be easy to follow for us. So size minute equal to, for yes in sizes, we're gonna look through the sizes. If you want to change the variable name, you can also change the variable name now. So if you change the variable name, that will be easy for you. So we're gonna divide the individual seconds by 60 to get the minute. So what we can do is we can, instead of the sizes, we can change this to time. So times minute, and let's also change this to time now. Change this to times. Now you know what we are doing, right? The labels will be the Windows application, the times will be the how many we have used that application. Let's plot now. So plt.py graph, we are using the bar graph, right? So plt.py, inside this pass the minutes as a x-axis and title as a y-axis. So labels equal to, this will be our labels, and we can also display the percentage as well. So we will deal with this after we run the Python script. Now for now, let's run this Python script. So plt dot, we can also set a title for our visualization. So plt dot title, screen tracker, screen time analyzer, or we can say screen time tracker, anything is fine. So plt dot show, that's it. Let's try to run this application now. So let me run this Python script. So before that, let's save the Python script now. Let me click on the run button. So make sure this recorder is running. You consider tracking starters, press Ctrl plus C to stop. Now we can open any application. Let me open up the file explorer now. Let's go to videos. Let's do random stuff now. Let's open up the browser. Let's go to another tab now. Let's open up a new tab, and here we can search, or we will also track the app. Let's go to my YouTube channel now. So this is my YouTube channel, and let's also open up the another application now. Let me, or we can directly go to the Visual Studio. This is enough for us. I think you consider we have switched from Microsoft Edge to, you consider this is the bar graph that or the pie chart that we have gone. This is the pie chart. I consider now there is no percentage as well as the labels. To get the percentage and the labels, then what we have to do is we have to change our code little bit. So let's try to do that now. So here along with the labels, we have to pass auto percentage tracker. This will take a lambda function. So instead of this size minutes, let me change to times minutes. This will be our times minutes. So that's it. Now if you run this application one more time, so using this we are displaying the percentage as well along with the minutes that we are using, how many percentage that we are using a particular app. You consider tracker starter. Let me open up your application now. Let me open up your browser. Let me go to my GitHub now. If you want the source code of this project, then what you can do is you consider go to my repository now, github.com/Kumaresan and you consider this the repo, and here inside this main.py file you will have the source code. You consider this the source code that I have used for this project. If you want the source code, you can visit my GitHub repo and get the source code directly from there. Let's go to our Visual Studio, or let's open up another application as well, Microsoft Store. So for now we can stop our analyzer now. Let's stop our screen time analyzer. Let me stop this. You consider now we got a nice percentage as well as how many minutes that we have used. The most used one is the main.py file, and the second most is the GitHub personal. You consider repository, that one. Isn't this amazing? You can also build the screen time analyzer for our Windows application as well, similar to the one that we have in our mobile phone. So if you like this project, feel free to subscribe to this channel. So this is for this video, and I will continue in the next one. And one more thing I want to include is that not only you can display the result in the pie chart only, you can also display in any graph. For this example, I have only taken the pie chart. If you want to include any other graph, you can also include that. If you want to display the results in the bar graph, you can also do that. But for the simplicity, I have taken up the pie chart. So yeah, this is for this video, and I will continue in the next one.